Yo, what up? It's your boy Mac TheWiseSole. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Gold Standard, your home for sneakers and sports. Today's episode, the NBA All-Star Reserve Team has been announced. We're going to dive into that to find out did anybody get snubbed. It looks like some players, they ain't really make it. We'll talk about that. The Super Bowl matchup has been set. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get into the Super Bowl more next week, but we'll talk about how championship weekend went. Also, the Golden State Warriors. Again, this is the gold standard. Winners of 3 of the last 4. Beat the best team in basketball, the OKC Thunder, last night. We'll kind of tap into that as well. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox looks like he might want to get traded. We'll see. Anyway, it's the gold standard. Your home for sneakers and sports. Run it! What up, it's your boy Max. So, episode 2 of the Gold Standard. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. I'm gonna try not to keep y'all here too long. The first episode, I was kind of just yapping, and that's what I do. Anyway, Super Bowl matchup: Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Will the Kansas City Chiefs three-peat? That's really gonna be the question going into this. Are the Chiefs gonna do the three-peat? I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't have my prediction ready to go for the Super Bowl, but it should be an interesting matchups, man. I mean, Philadelphia arguably has the best roster in the NFL, and they've proven that by getting to the Super Bowl. So they should do well. I mean, Jalen Hurts played solid in the NFC Championship game. They dismantled the Washington Commanders. I want to say the Eagles dropped 55 points, 50 something. There was the highest scoring championship game victory in history. They put up the most points. So kudos to the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. You guys should be feeling really good right now, man. I think there's a lot of confidence going into this. Saquon Barkley, who I mentioned previously, dude is a beast. And if he's able to control the game on the ground without offensive line, and if Jalen Hurts does what he did this past week, no turnovers, and they maintain that, because that's really what lost them the Super Bowl against Kansas City the last time, were the turnovers. So if they can go turnover free, which you could say that about, any NFL team, but in this case, the Super Bowl, I think it will definitely help the Eagles and give them a chance. As far as Kansas City goes, the Chiefs. You know how I feel about Kansas City. Y'all know I'm not the biggest Pat Mahomes fan. I hate that team. And it's only because obviously what they did to my team in the Super Bowl. So I have a hard time going for another team like that. Especially when that took my team out and eliminated me from the championship twice. But I'm a fan of history. Seeing a team actually three-peat in the NFL, 3 straight Super Bowl wins, that would be crazy. There was a time where my team, the 49ers, we had a chance to three-peat, and we didn't. Roger Craig fumbled the ball. That's what it was. But Pat Mahomes is looking to put his name and stamp his name in this GOAT conversation of quarterbacks. If he gets a three-peat, he'll have his 4 rings, which will tie him with Joe Montana. And at that point, the chase for Brady is there. And you could argue maybe he's the GOAT now. But Kansas City has a lot of good things going for him, man. We'll see what they do. Hopefully they can get their running game a little bit stronger. Isaiah Pacheco hasn't looked great since being back. But Kareem Hunt, he kind of helps out. Offensively, Xavier Worthy and crew, they might, it might be a fun game. Again, We're going to dive into the Super Bowl more next week's episode as we get into Super Bowl week. But before I get off of football, shout out to the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels and crew, kudos to you. What a season you guys had. You should not be ashamed. The thing I want to warn Commanders fans about, though, don't get ahead of yourselves, Washington. Just because you got there this year doesn't automatically mean you're coming back next year. Ask the Detroit Lions, because everybody in Detroit, they would have told you, hey, we running it back. We lost to the Niners. We gonna be back here. We're a young team. Now look what Detroit's doing with it. They lost both coordinators. We don't know what they're really gonna look like. That Jared Goff contract is kicking in. They're gonna end up losing some players. It's gonna be tough for Detroit. But Washington, I have faith in you. My guy Adam Peters is running the show. So I feel like you'll definitely be around for a while as far as contenders go. And Jaden Daniels is the truth. I mean, we know that. Y'all know that. It's what it is. So Washington, you'll be good. In the AFC, Buffalo, Josh Allen, you had the chance to win the game. People will talk about the fourth and inches, 4th and 1. What happened on that play? The thing about that play that bothered me the most is the clock management. They snapped the ball with like 25, 26 seconds left on the clock. You were up 1 point. What are you rushing for? It didn't make sense. Kansas City, obviously Spags, he had all that locked up, the QB sneak, the Buffalo push, whatever you want to call it. He was locking that up. Do I think you got the first down? In my opinion, you did. However, Kansas City and the referees, it is what it is, man. They got something going and working, and it's going in their favor. But Buffalo, Josh Allen, kudos to you. You get into the AFC Championship game. But, man, the AFC, it's like I said in the last episode, Pat Mahomes right now is on that Jordan shit. He is really Michael Jordan right now in football. He's preventing Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson from even getting to the Super Bowl. And that's crazy, man. Somebody in the AFC got to step up. Joe Burrow can't be the only one that can beat this man. AFC, do better. I mean, you really got to do better. All right. NBA All-Star reserves were announced. Let me pull my phone out. This just happened. So let's kind of talk about that real quick before I let you guys go. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference. So, the Eastern Conference reserves Cade Cunningham, Damian Lillard, Tyler Hero, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jaylen Brown, and Pascal Siakam. Now, there's some snubs here. LaMelo Ball did not make the All-Star team. Trae Young did not make the All-Star team. Those are probably the biggest snubs in the Eastern Conference. And like I talked about last time, LaMelo, the Hornets got to do better, man. That's what's holding you back. If you guys were just a better team, I think you might have got in there. Trae Young, there was a lot of disrespect when it comes to Trae Young. I don't know what it is. His numbers look good. The Hawks have a nice, solid young team, but, obviously their record is hurting them. Trae Young might need to just get the hell out of Atlanta. I don't know what it is. He doesn't get the love he deserves. He doesn't make all-star appearances. Well, he's made one, but Trae is disrespected, and it's nasty work. It's just nasty work. I don't know a better way to put it. But with that team, man, that's a great thing. Cade Cunningham. Let's get into that real quick. I told y'all last week, Cade Cunningham would make the All-Star team. What he is doing to the Pistons, for the Pistons, is amazing, man. I'm happy he's getting his kudos. He's got his first All-Star game in a reserve role. I think there'll be plenty of All-Star games for him. I'm excited, man. Cade Cunningham, you are my guy. I'm a big Cade Cunningham fan, and I love seeing him play. He's got his All-Star nod. The surprise, I think, of the All-Star predictions or selections, Tyler Hero with the Miami Heat. How do I feel about that? Tyler Hero is having a really good season. He is having a good season, all-star worthy. Would I have selected him over Trae Young, over LaMelo Ball? I'm not necessarily sure I would. That's the one spot right there in the Eastern Conference you could really debate and argue about. Should LaMelo have been picked? Should Trae Young have been picked over Tyler Hero? But kudos to Tyler Hero. Hey, you got it. The coaches got you in there, man. We will be seeing you out here in the Bay Area. Tyler Hero, congratulations. So that's the Eastern Conference reserves. Now let's go ahead to the Western Conference. Now, hey, there's some people who aren't really happy. Let's start out west. Let's go with my man, Ant-Man. Anthony Edwards makes the All-Star team from the Minnesota Timberwolves. James Harden from the Clippers. Jalen Williams from OKC. I think that was a great pick. He definitely deserves the nod. Anthony Davis of the Lakers. AD's having a really good season, man. He just got hurt the other night. Hopefully he'll be okay. All-Star game is in a couple weeks. Maybe he'll be back. Jaren Jackson Jr. A lot of people are kind of shocked. Jaren Jackson Jr. made it from Memphis. There's an argument that multiple players from Memphis should have made the All-Star team. The biggest snub of that is Ja Morant. I think the injuries played a part. And the West, it was really hard in the West, especially backcourt play. It was kind of tough. And my guy, Big Goon, Alfred Sengun made the All-Star team over Domantas Sabonis. Sacramento Kings fans, like the Beam Nation, whatever y'all call yourselves. The start the Kings got off to this season is probably the reason Sabonis didn't make the All-Star team. But Sengun is a beast, man. I mean, Sengun is a beast, and the Houston Rockets are a really good team. That he deserved the nod, but I understand Kings fans. Sabonis didn't make it. De'Aaron Fox didn't make it. Now, the final selection, Victor Wembanyama. Big Vic. This is his first All-Star selection. There will be plenty of All-Star games for this man in the future. There's chances that this is probably his last reserve spot. I really think he'll be a starter from here on out going forward. But Wemby coming to the Bay for the All-Star game, I'm really excited about that for Vic. Wemby and the Spurs. Now, the record isn't really good, and that kind of contradicts a lot of things I just said earlier about players in the East. But Wemby is probably going to be DPOY. And it's Wemby. And he's in the All-Star team. I don't care what anybody says. Wemby deserves to be there. So that's the reserves. Again, Anthony Edwards, Alfred Sengun, James Harden. Shout out to Norman Powell. He definitely made a case. Jalen Williams of OKC, Anthony Davis, Victor Wembanyama, and Jaren Jackson Jr. are your Western Conference reserves. Hey, I think the coaches did well, man. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, again, didn't make it. Domantas Sabonis didn't make it. I know Kings fans, being that the game is in NorCal, thought there should be some representation. I'm sorry. There's not. And speaking of Kings, De'Aaron Fox! The reports from my man Shams is saying De'Aaron Fox and the Kings might be on the outs and the Kings are ready to move him. And the prime target right now seems to be the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, if that happens, that would be crazy. Fox and Wemby, I think, would be an amazing combo. The Kings are ready to do that rebuild, man. It's over. The Beam team, it's over, man. The dynasty you thought you were going to have seems to have ended before it started. And it's unfortunately, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. You still have solid pieces. Will you be terrible? I don't believe so. You'll be a solid team. You know, they got Malik Monk. Sabonis is still there. They could be a solid team. But, hey, De'Aaron Fox is what makes that shit go. That's just what it is. So, I really hope y'all figure that out, man. But if Sabonis can hold it down for the Kings, maybe. De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, I'm with. I said on TikTok the other day, by the way, follow me on the socials below. You see him right here. TikTok, YouTube. That's where your boy will be. You know, Twitter, all that stuff. I think Orlando, if the Orlando Magic can get busy and get in this De'Aaron Fox thing, I think that's the way to go, man. That would be crazy. But we'll see what happens. Trade deadline is next week. So we'll talk about that also in the next episode if any trades go down. Jimmy Butler suspended indefinitely. Is he going to move? We'll find out about that. Before I get you guys out of here, the Golden State Warriors, winners of 3 of the last 4 games, again knocking out the OKC Thunder last night. Hey, man, I know this is what the Warriors do. They're going to win probably another 3 out of the next 4 before the trade deadline. Dunleavy's going to think, I don't need to make any moves, and that's what's going to happen. Is that the best case scenario? No. I think the Warriors should make a move. I'm with Steph. I'm with Draymond. Don't give up too much for what's available now. Are we going to be title contenders if we make a trade? Probably not. So we'll be smart about it. But I think we can get Steph some help. Steph, he's going to need a little bit of help, but I don't want to put too much stress on him going into the postseason. Hopefully we get to the postseason, but don't do any crazy moves. Kuminga should be back in the next couple weeks. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. If that's the case, we can definitely get into that 7-6 conversation and hopefully get out of the play-in and make the actual playoffs. That's something to look forward to. Dub Nation, y'all know that's the squad. We will ride again. I promise you, we will ride again. The sun hasn't set on the Curry dynasty yet. That's just what it is, all right? It hasn't set. Anyway, thanks for tapping in with your boy. The first 2 episodes have been, I'm enjoying this, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm enjoying this. Let me know how you feel about all the things in the comments below. How do you feel about the All-Star reserves? What do you think about the Super Bowl coming up? Will the Chiefs three-peat? Does a three-peat put Pat Mahomes in the GOAT conversation, or is he already your GOAT? Let me know about that in the comments below. Also, are the Sacramento Kings really serious about shipping out De'Aaron Fox? All of that, that's the recap. Again, thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Mac the Wise Soul. See you next week!